Dude, you're a total show off. What is going on here? You're totally show off. Wow.
What's up, everybody? I'm JD, and oh my god, did I just freeze up? Oh, there we go. Damn, that was crazy. It like went haywire on me for me a second. What's up, everybody? I'm JD, and welcome my guest, the myth himself, Bridge 4. Kevin, how you doing, man?
Dude, first of all, thank you for having me on. You were hanging out with me, and it's so weird doing a stream. Have you ever done a stream just talking with you have? Yeah, I've been on watching your streams where you're just sitting there talking, but it's really weird because it's surreal. You're just blah blah blah. Your friends are there, but they're not talking. Thank you for having me on. I needed this. Yeah,
no worries, man. I get it. It's, I sometimes I will actually, even before this whole virus thing goes off, I used to self-isolate myself. And then you get to that point where like, I do need some sort of human contact.
Yeah.
Outside of work, I need somebody to talk to.
Oh, we were just talking. I hadn't even been looking at the chat. We do have a lot of our friends here. That's awesome.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So we got Ben from Now Drawbridge Media. We got OTDA. We got Sam. We got Moni. I don't know who else is in here.
Hey, Moni.
So far, it's them right now.
Sam,
I've been Sam's human therapist for the last week. It's cool. I enjoy it.
We got the King Mod OTDA in the house.
Dude, yeah, that man is everywhere. Peter Griffin just showed up. What's happening?
Eyes. What a creep. Oh, that's great.
So it was kind of funny when you first popped on the screen. The first time I remember seeing you in a chat, and I went, Bridge 4. That guy reads Stormlight Archives like the very first time I seen it, and nobody caught what I was saying. And like, then we started doing like actual catchphrases like Stormfather and all this shit and storms. And
I like storms.
Everyone's like, what are they talking about?
tell people about storms. It's like a seven hells, right?
Yeah, it's a cuss word. It really is. Like you'll be reading it, all of a sudden a character's like Storm or Stormfather, depending on how the like we say fuck or motherfucker, But the best part about it is Stormfather is actually a character in the book. And he gets go ahead.
Yeah, I've been chatting. I think it's Marcia. It's not Marcia. I think it's Marcia. A good friend on Instagram. Marcy? It has I'm pretty sure it has an A. You know how like nowadays we just look at screen names and avatars. That's how like your eyes don't. I should know. I think it's Marcia though, because we talk all day, every day, because she blew through the books. Yeah, I did like why is my channel Bridge 4 or whatever, and then so there's whatever that was a month and a half ago. She started reading a little slow with Way of Kings. All of a sudden, within the last like 2 weeks, she did 2 books, the Oathbringer or Words of Radiance and Oathbringer. But we've been talking so she's asking me all these questions in the beginning, like why this and why this, and I can't answer because you have to wait a little bit to find out this stuff. But it's her favorite series now. She's like, thank you so much for recommending this. It's literally her favorite series.
I got into Stormlight because I listen to a lot of audiobooks because it's hard to find time to sit down and read. And I was listening to, I think it was either A Feast of Crow or Dance with Dragons, but I used to pick this kid up and take him to school. And so we were listening to it, and he goes, yeah, I like this series. He's like, you ever read The Wheel of Time or Stormlight Archives? I'm like, no. He hooked onto, whoa.
My thing was an icon, so I clicked. Why don't I have a camera? I think I'm going to click something.
There we go. Technology.
I can't stream on my own channel. I can't even stream on other videos. I'm so bad at this.
But he's the reason I got into Stormlight. And I'll admit it, first off, it actually took me a second to get into it because A Way of Kings is a very slow building book. But once I went through the series and I went back to it, I'm like, holy shit, there is so much information in the first book. It's unreal.
Wait, in the chat, can everyone in the chat who has read at least book 1, Way of Kings and Stormlight, has anyone out there done it? Guys, we've both been saying this for months. You guys have to read the series. It is my number 1. Is it your number 1 or it's up there, right? It's in your top 10.
It's my number 1 for sure.
Is it your number 1?
It really is. Even after Game of Thrones, Song of Ice and Fire, A Wheel of Time, Lord of the Rings, all that. No, Stormlight is my number one. Brandon Sanderson has my imagination. Like, I am
Yeah.
so bad with Stormlight. I pre-ordered the book and the audiobook already. Like, they're paid for.
It's what is it? It's coming out. It's coming out in November, right? I think it's November.
Yeah, and they were paid out for a year in advance. Like, I'm like, no, fuck this. I'm buying them now. Like,
what is I think you're getting a hardcover then. That's probably like an $18 book or something, like $24
no,
book.
No. Try like $34.
Is it really?
Yeah.
I mean, he deserves the money, and it's cool. You're gonna have a badass book. I don't think I'm cheap. Well, you know what? I'm not cheap. It's that I used to like the mass market paperbacks. Now I'm all about these. So I'm gonna have to wait because they'll come out with like the hardcovers first, and then they come out with the other stuff. It's annoying.
Yeah, it is. But to tell you the truth, I have The Way of Kings and The Words of Radiance are both in hardcover. The only reason I don't have Oathbringer in hardcover is it was my Christmas present for my brother, and the only copy he could find was autographed and was like $50. And he's like, yeah, no. So he bought me the soft cover of Oathbringer, which I completely understand that, which was great. But I mean, still, dude, I mean, that book is the book is thick. It really is.
It's crazy. Oh, I'm not gonna do it. I'm clearly drunk. Wait, real quick. Peter Griffin's like, Bridge, that hoodie looks like a cape. People are gonna see me wear this a lot. And I bought because it's my personality, like addictive. Like I've got one and I liked it, and it was on sale at Zoomies, so I bought 4 of them. So if you guys see me wear this, it's probably a dirty one, but I've got 4 of these.
But yeah, I mean, a lot of people don't understand. Like, The Wheel of Time is really long. A Song of Ice and Fire is long, but by word count in itself, the first 3 books of the Stormlight are 3/4 of way through both those series.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know about Wheel of Time. Wheel of Time, I've got it there. It's like Wheel of Time is
it's 15 books, but
this long?
They're not.
A Song of Ice and Fire is this long.
I think for every 1 or every 2 to 3 books of the Wheel of Time is one Stormlight. Like,
yeah,
it's huge.
Yeah, maybe. So, I mean, Wheel of Time though, some of those books get big towards the end. But
towards the end, but those are Brandon's.
Oh, are you not counting the Brandon ones?
No, I am counting the Brandon ones. Those are the long ones.
I see what you're saying. Yeah. But yeah, exactly. Like A Song of Ice and Fire, those 5 books. Let's say because they get bigger and bigger for the most part.
Yeah.
Let's say they average 1,000 pages, so 5,000 pages or something like that. I don't know the word count off the top of my head, but yeah, the first 3 of the Stormlight Archive are almost as big as A Song of Ice and Fire's first 5.
It's huge. There was an interview with Brandon. He was talking about it. He goes, I'm doing 20 books, but 2 books per 1 book is how he broke it down.
Oh, yeah. So people out there, what he's getting at is that Stormlight Archive is actually a planned 10-book series. However, it's 2, I think the word's quintet, 2 quintets. It's 2 5-book series.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a 10-book. But what'd you say though? It's each book is like 2 books.
2 books.
Yeah. Guys, another thing about Brandon that you guys should know is that my man, I'm not one of those people that hates on George R. R. Martin. If George R. R. Martin never wrote another word in his life, I don't care. Like I would still reread these books over and over. Like one of the lines in Stormlight Archive is "Journey before destination." Like I love the ride. I love these characters. I would want to ride with them some more. But Brandon Sanderson writes and writes and writes. He cranks stuff out. He is always he like I said. This is one of the books. This came out in November.
I actually just finished Starsight, the second book to that one.
Yeah. Well, is Skyward the first one?
Yes.
Oh, I don't have Starsight then. I need to get
Starsight's the one that just came out. And dude,
and
you're right. It's a teenage book.
Yeah.
But it's a lighthearted book, and I was laughing most of the story. Like I really did enjoy it. And I want to know what happens next. The way he interacts and how he's writing. That's the one thing I will say about Brandon is the way he makes his characters interact and how he builds his stories. I want to know what happens next every time. Chrissy's in the house. What's happening, Chrissy? Man, I'm slacking here. I have not made Chrissy.
Yeah, Chrissy's like, so OTDA we call the king mod. Chrissy's queen mod. Chrissy is of all, like I just blew everybody. But Chrissy's one of those people. She has to be blue everywhere. She's queen mod.
Yeah, I know what's going on right now, but it won't let me do it off my cell phone, which is really irritating me because it used to. So now you got to go into YouTube and do this shit. What the fuck?
You should just on the in the chat section click the 3 dots
Yeah.
You should be able to do that via the phone too.
No, it says go to channel report or block, and that's going to piss me off.
I shouldn't be talking. I have no idea about I've messed up 2 streams tonight. Evening, Chris.
Right? No, what I loved, and to tell you the truth, I really did love. I loved the Wheel of Time series. I love it. It's
So wait,
freaking phenomenal.
when did you start? I didn't realize that you've read the whole thing.
I've read the whole thing. Yes.
When did you start it? Is this something like you started as a kid, or just recently, and you're like, and just plowed through it?
Try like a year ago.
Wow, so you were dedicated. Because I started about a year ago. I always just going back and Song of Ice and all these projects that I'm working on. I end up like rereading The Witcher and stuff over and over and over. With the Wheel of Time, people out there, Stormlight Archive is great. After book 1 of Wheel of Time, I was already like, holy crap, this could become my favorite series. It's good.
It really is. And I'll admit, just like a lot of readers when it comes to the Wheel of Time, the middle there's a lot of world building and character development in the middle, and not a lot of action.
Okay. And there's a
people
big middle.
Yeah, and they're like, oh, it drags. I'm like, it doesn't really drag. There's a lot of important stuff that happens in those books, but it's not, there's not a lot of battles. There's not a lot of fighting. There's not even a lot of conflict. It's literally just world building and character development, which is all good because when he gets to, I think it's A Knife of Dreams, book 11, the last book that he wrote, I think the last book he wrote, which was a Knife of Dreams. It's phenomenal. A Knife of Dreams is freaking phenomenal. Because 12 was when Sanders started writing for him.
So he wrote the last 3, and then there's sort of like a midquill book that was published at the very end, right?
It's actually a prequel to the.
It's a complete prequel. It's not like a midquill.
Mm-mm.
Oh no, I was thinking of
a lot of people recommend you to
at the end
read it in the middle.
Oh, really?
Because it'll make a lot of sense when it comes to the beginning of the story.
But if it's always safe to read them by publication, so that's what I stick to. Yeah, I mean, there's like the one.
It's good. It's good. You learn about 3 of the main characters throughout the series.
Who is your favorite character in Wheel of Time?
In the Wheel of Time, Matrim Coffin.
That's what everyone in my comment section tells me. Don't spoil anything for me, but really,
I'm not going to. Him and I really like Perrin.
Yeah,
I like Perrin.
That's the second. That's people say that the second most in my comment section.
Fael drives me nuts. Actually, a lot of the women, the way Robert Jordan portrays a lot of the women, drive me nuts. But Nynaeve, I like Nynaeve, and I like.
She's my number one. I love her so much.
Yeah, Nynaeve and Min. Min is the other one that I really like. You get to know her later on in the story, but I really like Min too.
The first time I read book 1, I didn't even Min didn't even register with me because she popped up in book 2, and I did like my book 2 review, and I was like, oh my god, this girl is awesome. She's so cool. I love her. And then people told me, they're like, you already met her in book 1. Now I've reread book 1 twice or 3, 2 more times, so 3 times. Yeah, she's in book 1. Not much, but.
Not much. She's a Flash character.
Yeah, but she's like just the style. Like, is she? I'm totally different arc, and without spoiling anything, but she just comes across kind of like an Arya type girl. Yeah, kind of tomboyish or whatever. Just a very very likable girl. That's she's different than other girls.
Yeah, she's completely different than the rest of the cast, basically.
Yeah, but Nynaeve though, she's always angry. But she's she's always angry. She's just such a pleasure to read. But even and it's not just like someone like Ramsay is crazy, right? Ramsay's crazy, and you love him as an evil character. A little thing worse than Ramsay because Tywin actually knows what he's doing. But yeah, we don't have to have that argument. But those guys, she's angry and stuff. But in real life, I think I would fall in love with her because she's just I like that type of anger. It's just so sarcastic and I don't. And her anger stems from love. You know what I mean? She's passionate.
So I got to ask you a question. And I know Kaladin's your favorite character when it comes to the Stormlight Archives.
Yeah.
Mine is Szeth.
Okay. Szeth's son Villano. Yeah.
I mean, love Szeth. And the reason I love Szeth, and Szeth sits there and goes, I don't have any honor. I don't have any honor. That man has more honor than anybody in the freaking story, dude. He is the most honorable person in the story because he literally lives and dies by his word. No matter what it is, he lives and dies by his word. And so a lot of people hate on him. I'm like, dude, this guy's one of the coolest characters in the book.
You've got it. If you don't have it yet, you got to go on BrandonSanderson.com. There's it's called it's like what does 8-bit mean? Is that like old Atari and stuff? Like kind of like boxes that make up like the art isn't made like modern art, like a nice image of a dire wolf. It's like made up of like pixels. That's what I think. So it's 8-bit, but it's a little thing of Seth, and then it says it's a quote. It's a quote that someone says. It says would you like to kill some evil today?
I need that shirt.
Oh my god.
The one thing, and here's another thing, guys, because once you get into Brandon Sanderson, it's hard to get out of that world because there's a reason they call it the Cosmere.
Yeah.
Everything, and like he was talking earlier, Starward and Starsight are the only thing that aren't connected in the whole Cosmere. Everything he writes is connected, and you have to pay attention to characters or look for characters in his stories and how everything links. They're called world jumpers, and sometimes they're hard to spot. Like they really are. I'm still in Mistborn. I'm waiting still.
Yeah, I'm gonna reread Mistborn because right now is Luke in the chat? Benji's in the chat. Luke's not in the chat. Luke right now, I think he just read book 1 of Mistborn.
The Final Empire.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I've found the World Hopper in Mistborn. I can't think of it.
I haven't yet.
Yeah,
I know he's in there. He has to be because it's connected. So people, again, I mentioned this on my stream earlier. You've got an event that happens, right? Let's call it like a splitting of something. Boom, and then out in the universe. Now you've got a bunch of different planets, and those things that go out, each of them are like they're different. So they create. So that's why each story happens on a different planet, each of his series, and there's different types of magic because all those things that split off, let's say, have a different power system, but they all have the same same, like, let's say the same logistics apply the same to the magic system, right? But there's but because in his Cosmere, you can enjoy each series independently. You don't have to look for the World Hopper, but it's fun because now, I mean, it's totally a marketing tool as well because now it's like it really is, and and that's the whole. When I figured out what was going on, because I read the Stormlight Archives, and then I read Warbreaker, and then I read the Stormlight Archives again. I'm like, I know those characters.
My quote. I finally read Warbreaker. I read the first 2 chapters, I think, and then I audiobooked the rest. I will say, so good. It's so good.
It is. It's really good. It's really slow in the beginning.
Yeah,
it's really slow. But as it starts to build towards the end, it's good.
It's not good like Mistborn or Stormlight, but it's
no.
But people in my comment section forever have been like, you've got to do Warbreaker. And like I even said earlier, I'm like, I love standalone novels, so it's a one and done type novel.
Yeah.
But what's cool about Warbreaker compared to the other ones is that there's a more blatant world hopper in a sense.
Oh yeah, there's one particular.
Yeah, and that one in particular.
Everywhere. That man is everywhere, and he's got to be in Mistborn somewhere. So this is why I always preach to you guys to pick up a Brandon Sanderson book, because the guy is a phenomenal author. He doesn't, there's not a lot of sex. There's love storylines, but there's not sex.
I like,
and there's not a lot, and there's. Do what?
I like sex stuff and like even like the kinky.
I do too.
I do. I kind of wish he had that, but his does not have that. You're right. It's very it's very classy.
Well, and it's his background. It's his religion. That's why he writes the way he does.
Very religious. Yeah.
So, there's not the vulgarity and stuff that are in like a Game of Thrones or Song of Ice and Fire or other authors' stories. But he like we were talking earlier, Storms or Stormfather, and in Starward it's Scuds. I mean, there's certain little things that he uses that you can pick up on that are meant to be something else. But as an author, the man will bring you in.
Yeah. What was I gonna say? I don't know. I started getting nervous because I smoke. I should just embrace it. I'm a dirty smoker.
Yeah, it is what it is.
I was good, but like this is so. Look at this. This is lame. Like, hey. Well, that's kind of cool that it goes. Whew.
Well, yeah, you should catch me on like when my daughter's not around and everybody's gone and it's just me on this Saturday and it's like 4:00 in the afternoon and I've got a case of prime times and a 20 pack of beer and I'm sitting on the deck watching the world go by, live streaming, playing music. I mean, you can judge me. I don't give a shit. That's on you. I'm here to have fun. And as you can see, I have a really nice little It might not be huge, but I enjoy the people that are here that enjoy my content just to have fun.
Chrissy of Oldstone says, Kev likes a kinky. Technically, you're 100% correct, but it's all in my head. I've been single, like literally, I don't even know how many years. I think it might be like 6 years since it's probably like 4 to 6 years since I've even kissed someone. I'm a born again, not by choice, just by, you get older. Like I don't have the testosterone I used to have. No, don't get me wrong. Like when I'm out in the world, every single girl I see, I'm like, I want to bang. But no, like I don't feel like putting in the effort anymore. It's like I'd rather just read books and audio book. But yeah, I like that. I like that George R. R. Martin kinky shit.
Dude, that's one thing I will say about George. That man wrote some detail, and you're just like, okay, nice. I'm working on how many? Okay, so I have one book finished that I'm getting edited by 2 of my friends. Actually cousins, that I'm going to publish here soon. I have another one that's called The Assassin that I'm working on, and then I just started another one that I haven't come up with a title yet for, but I'm on chapter 12. I have a chapter that's literally nothing but a ruler that's about to go to war, and it's just a whole bunch of fucked up shit going on in this whole situation, dude.
What would you say your number one TV show is of all time?
Ooh, my number one TV show of all time. Actual TV, like sit down and watch TV.
As opposed to what? Like a Netflix?
Like a movie or something?
Yeah, not a movie, like a series. Something that had
an actual series.
Something that had episodes, but it didn't have to be cable. It could be HBO, it could be Netflix, Stars.
Yeah, that's rough, dude, because I like a lot of shows like
different genres.
I mean, I'll say it. Game of Thrones is probably one of my favorite shows. It's my dropped the ball, the last 3 seasons of it. They dropped it pretty hard.
I love the last 3, and it's my number 2. I can respect that.
The Witcher that just came out on Netflix. I enjoyed The Witcher. Dude, loved it.
I love you for saying that, because The Witcher is getting. It's not even in my top 5 or 10. I absolutely love the show, though. Especially the first time I watched it was after a big bender I had. I didn't really enjoy it. Because I was sick. I've said this to everyone here has heard this. Because I was recovering from basically the verge of my life, and B, I was watching it in terms of how are fans gonna like it, and I was so distracted. Well, the second time I watched it, and I've now watched it some of the episodes 3 times. The Witcher is awesome. It is awesome. Mm-hmm. It's probably in my top 20, maybe. I don't know. Because I do love it's great. It's still top tier. But my number 1, because it's kinky as shit, is Spartacus. I love
Spartacus. Oh yeah, there's a lot of sex in Spartacus. Yeah. Holy shit. Women, for you women that bashed Game of Thrones for not getting the male sexual part of the situation, go watch Spartacus, because you will get all that you want.
Wait, can I want to say, okay, I'm not going to use names. But people, if you want to use earmuffs, as soon as I put my hand down, will not be spoilers. I'm going to try to make it vague. You could probably listen to it. No, you shouldn't listen to it. If you haven't seen Spartacus, you're going to want this to be a surprise. So mute it until I put my hand down. But ready? JD, there's a scene where someone has sex with someone else, and they're both wearing masks. They're 2 people that hate each other.
Yes.
And then they take off the mask. That was like the hottest thing I've ever seen in my life, because they fucking hate each other.
The look on their faces was priceless.
But the 2 of them are both really hot people. So just them doing it is so hot, and the fact that they hate each other is so hot, and the fact that they didn't know it, and they think, that scene is one of the greatest scenes I've ever seen in my life. The first time, I love it every time I watch it, but the first time I saw that, I was like, oh my god, who thinks of this? That's awesome. Someone's got a twisted mind, though.
Dude, it was funny. I remember watching that scene, and I just went because the looks on their faces were.
It was awesome.
Yeah, that was a good one. That was a really good one.
But the whole show, though, because even just in terms of I'm into women. There's tons of slamming hot naked women, but the men there, they're very I can admire the physique of these guys. Are all freaking jacked, and they're all really cut, and it makes you want to go work out and stuff. Just looking at these guys that are these are top tier fucking fitness guys. You know what I mean? So I liked it for that reason too. It's just A, you can it's hot. B, the story's cool. C, there's fighting, and D, you can actually take it outside. And be like, God, I got to get to the gym.
I will say the slow motion deaths in Spartacus was some of the nastiest, gruesome shit I've ever seen in my life. Like he would slice and blood would just cover your TV screen. You're
I
like,
actually,
oh my god.
I'm not big into that. Like even like a lot of Game of Thrones scenes. Like I'm one of those guys. Like I'm like I'm always like I don't like watching gore at all. Like John Wick. I think you love John Wick, right? Am I? No, I thought I'd heard you say that on stream. Most people.
No, I've never seen John Wick.
Oh, you said that the other day. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But most people, most dudes at least, love John Wick, right? I think most people do because it's like great action and stuff. I couldn't get through like 20 minutes because it was just so violent. I'm like, this does nothing for me. It does. I'm like going like this nonstop. Like I don't blood. Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that. Blood doesn't bug me though. It never really has.
Look at Benji's comment. Like 12 back. He goes, hate effing is the best.
Oh yeah, I did see that one.
It totally is. It's no, it's not the best technically, but it is awesome. It is definitely awesome.
Yeah, I forgot about Spartacus. It's been a minute since I watched it. Now I need to rewatch that.
Yeah.
I gotta rewatch that because and the main reason I will admit this, the main reason I watched The Wheel of Time is because it's getting ready to come out on Amazon. I'm like, well, fuck, and that was the first time second time I'd had heard of it. It was on my list, but once I was like, oh, it's gonna become a TV show, I kind of want to know what's gonna happen. And so I'll admit it, like I got addicted. I have the first 6 books. I'm actually a quarter of the way, like reading it, because the first time I did it was all through Audible. I just listened to the whole story. Mm-hmm. And I'll admit, dude, Michael Kramer and Kate Reading did a hell of a job on that story.
They're phenomenal.
Yeah.
Just a quick heads up to everyone in the chat. So this guy, Michael Kramer and Kate Reading, did you know that they're married or no?
Yes.
Okay. So they're married. This couple, they're the narrators of The Wheel of Time. I'm assuming that's how Brandon Sanderson got involved with them. They do the narration for a lot of Brandon Sanderson's books. Like I'm not sure if they do Mistborn. They definitely do Stormlight though.
No, Michael does Mistborn.
Does Michael? But does he do? And he does the girl voices too. It's just Michael.
Yeah, he does just Michael.
Yeah, okay. It's great though to have the two of them.
Yeah, I think the only series that he did that didn't have either of them was the Star Wars series.
Yeah, who is? But that guy, I like that guy too, though.
No, it's a chick.
No, it makes sense. Of course, it's a chick.
Yeah.
And it makes sense to have someone different because it's not part of the Cosmere. It was something different. And also with a female, like the main character is a female, it made sense to have a female narrator. She was really, oh no, yeah, she's got a sexy voice. I think I fell in love with her. Yeah.
She does have she's got a really cute voice.
TGP says he would. Can we swear in the stream?
Yeah, you don't. Yeah, go for it.
I don't like swearing out loud. I do it like I say effing, but the real word for effing, I say that naturally as an adjective. I hate like reading like when I see it because I don't like saying the word, but it comes out naturally. But I'll just say it. He goes, TGP to you says, I would hate fuck you with love.
Let's see, how many streams of mine have you watched? Because I'm pretty sure I say fuck almost every couple of words.
I guess I don't mind hearing it, and I guess I do use it. I grew up, my mom, I grew up in a very Catholic family. No, not super Catholic. Yeah, pretty Catholic family. My mom does not like swears. I've never heard her say the F word ever in my life. You know what I mean? Like literally not once. She's the worst I've heard. The worst word it was crap. She says crap, and nowadays she uses it all the time. But it's so I grew up like, not like I swore at my boys, but I love my mom, and I would feel bad if I swore in front of her. I laugh and stuff too, but like it hurts her. So I think it's always going to be ingrained in me to feel bad saying the words because like I feel like if my mom's there, it's literally going to hurt her that I say it.
I can understand that. My mom cusses just as bad as I do. So. The only person I ever watched my language around was my grandma, and she's gone. So yeah.
Sorry to hear that, man.
Yeah, Chrissy just proved it. I don't think there's ever been a stream without JD cursing. So that's pretty much true. Especially when I get about the 4th beer in me.
This is such a sexual message. TGP's like, so I'm not your boy? Curse at me, Kev.
Yeah, that's a TV that you just got hit on hard.
TGP is the man. TGP is totally the man. Yeah, I'm with Benji. Like, I try to limit it to crap in front of my mom. You know what word I hate? It's the C word.
Yeah.
C-U-N-T?
Yeah.
I don't
Very often.
I
Unless I'm really fucking mad at somebody.
I've never like that word just would it's not in my vernacular. It's not in my library or whatever. But I think I have. I said it one time out loud. I was reading it or someone saying it, so I said it. It was really weird. But in other countries, maybe Britain, but definitely in
Ireland is huge. Scotland's huge. It's an actual just regular word.
Yeah, in Australia, it's a regular word. So I used to work at an investment bank. I'm in the middle of Times Square, like let's say 40th floor. You got a bunch of people walking around in suits, and it was my best friend, an Australian dude who worked with us. But he's from Australia and he's in New York City. He just walks around the floor nonstop saying the C word. I keep going up to him like, bro, that word does not mean what you think it means. Not here. Not here. You can't be doing that. Like, you got clients and stuff. But he was the nicest guy ever. He got away with it because he just is the nicest guy ever. But it's so wild. They throw it out there. Not Australians.
Different cultures, different. Yeah. There's words that we say that they're like, dude, why would you use that? You know? You're like, well, it is what it is. But we got off topic there for a second.
Yeah.
Like I told you in your stream, I'm reading a series. It's called the
Licinius or something.
Yeah, Licinius series.
Licinius. What is it about?
It's I don't want to give too much away.
That's I like that though.
I can't.
You love it.
I can't give too much away because I have listened to the whole book, so now I'm actually sitting there reading it because I always stuff between both of them.
Okay.
I miss certain stuff in audio and I catch it in the books, and I miss certain stuff in the books and I catch it in audio. But
are there swords? Are there dragons? Are there elves? Like what is this genre?
There's a powerful sword.
Okay.
There's a certain group of people that got banished at one point in time. There's a kid that's growing up that doesn't know who his father is. He basically grew up in this school for what they call the gifted, and the gifted have basically been to a point where they're controlled. When they go out, they're called tenants on. And when they're in this tenant, their magic is basically, it's suppressed. And and then I can't give any more away because there's so much that goes on. That's the reason I'm reading it again. Cause I'm pretty sure I missed about half of what happens.
Is it limited to like medieval type weapons, or are there guns and things? Is it like swords and magic?
It's mainly medieval. Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of magic when you start getting forward, but there's certain things that, there's immortals, I guess you would call them. There's immortals. There's one that's made a lot of mistakes, and I can't give any more away. Sorry.
how many books are in the? I'm surprised I never heard of this.
It's 3 books.
Okay. Trilogy. I feel like trilogies are the best. I love trilogies.
Yeah.
Huge series are awesome, but like trilogies are perfect.
It's the shadow of what was lost, the echo of things to come, and the light of all that falls. Dude, and I was like, dude, what is this? And literally on the cover of my book, it says, if you like the Wheel of Time, you will fall in love with the series.
Okay.
And that's exactly what happened.
Okay.
It's freaking phenomenal.
And how did you hear about it? How did this get on your radar?
Random recommendation on Audible.
Yeah. Oh, you just saw it and you're like, let me try it, and boom, loved it.
I hit it. I read the quick. I don't read. I don't read the, what do you call them, the synopsis or whatever the hell it is that they give you the little.
You just like the cover, the image.
I read some of the reviews on the book because most people give when they put it up on Audible, they give them spoiler free.
Okay.
So I read a couple of the reviews. And a lot of people compared it to the Wheel of Time or the Stormlight Archives. I'm like, okay, I'll read this. I'll give it a shot. And dude, halfway through the first book, I bought the second one on Audible.
So, that's a good sign. What was I gonna say? The rate. Whoa, God! Instagram is so distracting. Oh wow! Hello.
Especially when tips now show up on the screen.
So I'm curious as what I've never even thought about that. Like, go to like my. I'm gonna go to the store and just see like what it recommends. Store, browse. But I was gonna say the rating it's a 5-point scale in Audible, I think. So does it fall in like it's above a 4? Because you want to be above a 4. Right?
It's above a 4. Yeah, it's above a 4, dude. It's good. Once you actually start, I think I was halfway through the second book when I actually started figuring out what was actually starting to go on. But the ending, the way he ended it was phenomenal. Like the ending was like, that was good. Like you give it a round of applause. Like, I'm going to have to read that again. It was good, dude.
I've never heard. Have you ever heard of this one? The Shadow of What Was Lost. That's my number.
That's it. That's
Wait,
the
that's it?
first book.
That's
That's the first book.
dude. I'm buying it right now. That's the number 2. Really?
Yeah.
That's the first book. That's
Yep,
the
that's the first
that's
book.
the number 2 recommended for me right now.
Yeah. That's the very first book of the trilogy.
Yeah, book. Yeah, the Lacanius trilogy, dude.
Yep.
And it's narrated by Michael Kramer.
Yep.
What, dude? Gotta love this life. Whoa, it's a regular price $40, member price $28.
Credit.
What? Ooh, I clicked cash. 1 credit. Boom. Nice. Good
$14.
luck. Yeah.
I actually got. So did you get the $20 to Amazon through Audible for the three months 3 books thing?
I started. I started Audible like 5 years ago.
Yeah, so Audible, I think they started it in January. You had to three books that were over 3 hours long in 3 months, and then they gave you $20 cash to Amazon.
Oh yeah, I don't know if I got that.
So I got the first. I'd already bought the first book, the Shadow of What Falls, or the Shadow of What Was Lost, and then so the second book, The Echo of Things to Come, I got for free for basically listening to books. You can't beat that, dude.
Dude, I'm a madman. Ready? This is unreal. I have 324 books on Audible.
Damn, and I thought I had a lot. I have 150 something.
Dude, and check this out. This is even worse. This is crazy. If people have Audible, I bought Elantris as my first book in 2014. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So in 6 years, I have a total of 11 months, 13 days of listening time. 1/6 of my life is Audible. That's crazy. I average 4 hours a day.
Yeah, dude.
I love Audible. I do.
That's crazy.
You know what? But here's the thing. So I got back into reading fantasy in 2010, I think. So 2010 to 2014, I was just reading books. I didn't know Audible existed. Like I remember my mom, she had like CDs or something like that. But like audiobooks, I didn't know that an app existed until I got Elantris, Brandon Sanderson's first book.
Yeah.
But reading is faster than audiobooking. But so when I first started audiobooking, it was because I was reading. Like when I read, I can't stop reading. I was laying there for like hours and hours on end, and it's like I'm not cooking, I'm not showering. So I was like, I bought the audiobook, and when I would get up, I would go like listen to a chapter while cooking food and eating. Then I'd go back to reading because you can read a lot faster than you can audiobook. Even though I'll usually like the first time I go through an audiobook, I'll do 1.5. After I've done it a couple times, like Game of Thrones, Song of Ice and Fire, I do 2.5 to 3x. I can't. Yeah,
my biggest problem. You're speeding up. The voices start driving me nuts.
Yeah,
I can't handle their voices. It drives me upset. So I do about 1.5.
Yeah, 1.5 you can handle. Yeah, it's still
my total.
It's still a feel.
So my total is 5 months, 15 days, 1 hour, and 33 minutes.
That's still a solid, crazy amount of listening time.
Yeah, dude, that's a lot.
Wow.
And I started. God, when did I start? I've got every badge but 2. I don't have Watchtower or Dabbler. It's only 2 badges I don't have. I think, when did I start this? I can't even remember. And today, see, I listened to it for 7 hours and 7 minutes was mine today. But
you did 7 hours today?
Yeah, work was slow, and I've got Bluetooth headphones, so I just put my right headphone in, and I walk around doing whatever I need to do at work, and listen to a book. So that's how I blow through a lot of my books. But I always go back and listen to them again or read them.
Ooh. I was like, you're crazy. 7 hours. I'm 6 hours and 16 minutes.
But that's, to tell you the truth, that's how I got into The Land by Alaron Kong. It was a recommendation on a fantasy series, and I picked it up and I was like, oh my God, this is one of the best. It got me into the lit RPG status.
I just still, people in the chat have to get this book because I just can't believe that you hyped it in my stream. You mentioned it again right now. I go to my recommended books, and it's the first book. For some reason, it wasn't high fantasy. That's why I went to number 2. I wasn't like setting this up like, oh my God, get lucky. I had no idea. This is fate. This is a book that obviously is totally up your realm and totally up my realm, and probably up everyone in the chat's realm.
Pretty much.
So the book is called.
when I get done with doing the first back through actual read of the story, I'm going to do a live stream of that book.
Nice. The shadow.
I'm going to.
The shadow of what was lost to everyone
Yes.
out there.
Dude, the guy, and you want to know what's funny? How do you think this guy got into writing? Without looking it up, how do you think he got into writing?
Talking?
Mistborn.
Oh, no way. How old is the author, James Irvington?
Oh, I don't know. He's not very much older than us.
Yeah,
but that's how he got into writing. Was
so he had a different career. He reads Mistborn and he's like, all right, I got to do it too. I got to do it.
Wrote his trilogy.
Everyone should read Mistborn. When people, so if people came to you and they were like, they're not high fantasy fans, right? Maybe they've watched Game of Thrones because it brought in people who weren't high fantasy.
It did.
And so if they were to come to you and say like, what high fantasy book or what should I buy or Audible? I go.
If I'm starting them off easy.
Yeah.
If I'm going to start them off easy, I'm going to tell them to listen to The Chronicles of Illuminea by Ben Hill.
Huh.
It's a 3-book trilogy. It's I can't remember I know the second book's The Gathering, and then the third book's 3 days or 7 days. I can't remember the very first book because I can't remember. So the first book's Elsirion, and then it's The Gathering, and then it's 7 days. So basically, this guy got into. It's a very like Lord of the Rings style book, is what it is.
That's one of my. It's weird because A Song of Ice and Fire, like you were saying earlier, you almost wanted to say number one. I can feel you on that. Like that just holds such a special place in our heart.
Yeah,
and it's different than like the Lord of the Rings. Like Lord of the Rings, I think, and like Wheel of Time, I feel like they're in that same type of genre where it's a little more. And like even a Witcher,
more like realistic style writing.
Well, no. I was going to say like A Song of Ice and Fire is even more realistic. Like even though it's got like it's got dragons and it's got the Great Other. So much of it is the political drama, whereas I like more of like elves and or magic and sorcerer.
And see, the Wheel of Time is very realistic because I think you have Ogier, you got Loyal and his people, which are. And then you have the Green Man and all that, but the main purpose, it's a lot of political struggle in the story.
I've only done 1 through 3. For me, 1 through 3, the politics are definitely there, but it does feel not the same as Lord of the Rings. Lord of the Rings is more like, let's say, animally. I don't want to say animally, the different races, more about elves and dwarves and shit. But but it feels like Wheel of Time is closer to Lord of the Rings than it is to A Song of Ice and Fire for me. In terms
when you start, I think it's past book 5.
It shifts over towards The Song of Ice and Fire.
It shifts towards the more political style.
Because most of the characters are human.
Yep.
You do have but you do have like what are the it's an orc type race. What is the the
Trollocs.
Trollocs, right? So you have them, but they're never like. Do they ever get humanized in the sense of like named characters or no? They're always just a tool as opposed to
they're a tool. The Trollocs are just a tool.
A tool, yeah. Because like even like orcs for the most part in Lord of the Rings are a tool, but you do have some named orcs. At least I don't really remember them as much from.
And to tell you the truth, I think you'd actually like the damn it, I just forgot it.
But like in the book
Chronicles of Illuminea, I think you'd actually like it because it has elves and humans and dwarves and all that stuff to it.
You know which ones? This is not on the same level as the stuff we've been talking about at all. I moved it over to the bookshelf, but there's an entire book series. Actually, I think the author specifically said he wrote these books so that both an adult and the adult's child could read it at the same time. So it is PG. It's probably PG, but it's an entire series. There are humans and there are elves and there are dwarves, but the main characters are all dragons that talk. They are the humanoid species. The entire series. It's called The Age of Fire. I recommend it to people. And again, it's not a Wheel of Time. It's not A Song of Ice and Fire. It's not Lord of the Rings. It's not It's not Stormlight Archive. But just it's so unique in the fact that the main character and the second main character and the third main character, the top 10 characters are all dragons. You know what I mean? So
it's cool.
Actually. Yeah, I loved it. So that's called Age of Fire. If anyone wants to get
the other one. I'll give you a guilty pleasure.
What's that?
Like guilty pleasure high fantasy it's a story called the Godling Chronicles or the Godling Chronicles.
You cracked up for a second. The what? The Gollum?
It's called the Godling Chronicles.
Gollin, Gollin, like that, like a Gollin.
Godling.
Oh, Godling,
like God.
Yeah. What about?
And you follow this god basically as he develops into whatever. And then another one would be Dragonvein. Would be another one that I would recommend as a guilty pleasure story.
But Dragonvein obviously has dragons, but the main characters are humans.
Yes, actually, the dragons are for the most part frozen place in a battling struggle with the bad guy.
Ooh, here's one. Have you done Farseer trilogy or no? You heard of it?
I have.
So has anyone? Let me know if anyone in the chat has done Farseer trilogy. The reason I ask is because so the author is Robin Hobb. It's a trilogy. Robin Hobb is very good. She's very good friends with George R. Martin. You've probably watched interviews where it's her and George R. Martin on stage. They're really good friends. But there's a character, the main character, Fitzrovary Farseer, and he has a wolf. And just who he is, his he is a Jon Snow, like that like sad type character or whatever.
So it's sadness.
He's just what's the melancholy, right? But
there you go. Yeah.
What's weird is that like they're probably I think they might be like best friends or very close to best friends, and they both have series with this lead character with a wolf. Yeah. So Farseer trilogy, it is slow in a sense, but I don't read many stories that are written by women. So and I don't want men and women come in all different shapes and forms.
Yeah.
But if you were to stereotype all of men and all of women, then there are differences. Like women are more, I don't want to say emotional, they're more heartful, they're more caring. I don't know.
Yeah.
The story has a different feel than most of the fantasy I read because I feel like it's written by someone who just has a bigger heart than all the men. Like Brandon Sanderson has a huge heart, but this is a woman with a huge heart, and it's different.
Yeah,
it's a different
style.
Yeah, and it's
damn it, what the hell's her name? Give me just a second. There's actually what I do with my phone.
but that series though, it is slow, but it's worth reading just because I don't know, it's a good story.
There's a series I got onto. It's called Dead Man's Cross. It's a 3-book series, and what is her name? What is their name? She writes it. I actually enjoyed the hell out of the first book, and I'm actually slowly reading the second book. Actually, there's 2 female authors I got into. So the first one is Sherilyn Kenyon, and it's called the Dead Man's Cross series. That's a really good one. It's about basically pirates, and it's staged on Earth, and these pirates have come back to hell. They're like hell. They're like, as weird as it sounds, they are the son of Satan's Earth's defenders.
Then so many bad words in what you just said. The title of the book has the word dead and cross, and then that seems like such a dark story. Good. What about Malazan? Like Malazan's dark. I've only done book 1. Have you done that?
I haven't read that one yet.
You've heard, obviously, because a lot of Wheel of Time fans, like their number 2 or vice versa. It'll be like the 1 and 2 for a lot of people is Malazan, Book of the Fallen, and Wheel of Time. That supposedly is.
And then I got into Nora Roberts, The Chronicle of the One.
Every what is it called? The what?
The Chronicle of the One. So the first book would be Year 1.
Yeah, I don't think I have the book. I do think I have the audiobooks. Was it Nora?
Nora Roberts.
Everyone. Yeah, I have Year 1. I think it was on sale. Dude, it was on sale recently.
It was actually it was really good.
Yeah, everyone recommends that. And it's by a woman. Interesting. It's only 12 hours. That's a short book. It's pretty.
It's the whole. But she does a really good job of giving you a really good story in those short times. Like, you know what? You can't. I've come across a lot of good books that aren't. They're 20 hours or shorter. Edward W. Robinson's. I don't know if you heard this. Edward W. Robinson's. The Cycle of Iran and Cycle of Galen, which you follow the same character in the whole series. But dude, that's a phenomenal story too. If you like a lot of quip, whip, smart ass comments and there's 3 magic systems in the whole world. Like it's not a lot. It's a good one.
Well, I always ask the the Dragon book reviews. Who wrote that? Sam.
Yeah. I've begun to make an Audible wish list, and it's bad. I'm sorry, Sam.
Yeah. Guys, if you have Audible, you should always be adding like anytime you hear a recommendation for a book, go to Audible, add it to your wish list. The reason being is that you're going to get an email when there are sales. We can get like 2 for 1 credit, or sometimes like 3 for 2 credits. But you don't get those emails unless, like I have right now, I probably have like 400 books in my wish list specifically, and that's why like I have 300 something Audible books. I've probably only done maybe half of them, but I pick up I pick up a lot of them in the 2 for 1 or 2 for 1 or 3 for 2 sales.
I think I've only, out of all 155 books, I think I've only paid maybe full price for like 10 or 15.
Yeah. Of them. There's also I missed it this year, but I probably wouldn't do this year. Last year I went nuts where the spring sale where it's like every book is $4.99, $5.99, or $6.99.
Yes.
I went last year or 2 years ago. I did something like 90 books because it was like it was I paid like $400 or $500, but for like for years worth of listening.
Yeah,
like I just paid for it in advance. I was like, I want it all.
Hell yeah. And and a lot of people in here know this, and I've never told you this. I wasn't a big reader in school. Like I really didn't like reading. So when Game of Thrones came out, I watched the first season and I was like, oh, that's cool. So I did some research on it. Oh, look, it's actually a book series. And I went and bought a Clash of Kings. And then for my birthday, my mom's like, what do you want for your birthday? I'm like, I want A Song of Ice and Fire. So she bought me all 5 fucking books. And dude, I've just built since then reading books. Like it's become kind of an obsession. But I didn't read in high school. Like I didn't read till literally the first season Game of Thrones came out, to tell you the truth.
Dude, I was big in it. I read a lot in high school, I think. I don't know. Like I said, I have head injuries now. I read fantasy in high school. I don't know which ones. But then I was straight like I was reading finance until about 2005. It was like, school, and then I did like the CFA. CFA is kind of like a master's, but it's a self-study type program. And you get like my name is Kevin Ingram, CFA, and it's like instead of having MBA, it's like a title that you can get jobs off that shit. But then all of a sudden, I guess Game of Thrones came out, but it wasn't for me. It wasn't season 1. It was season 3 or 4. One of those ended. I think.
Oh, so the Storm of Swords season.
So I think it was 3. I think it was 3. No, it was 4 ended. I didn't even know there were books because I live in my own little finance bubble. My boy and I, we smoked a lot in college. We didn't, but then we never blazed for like 8 years after that. All of a sudden, it was True Blood. Once True, we were living together, and then it was one of my buddies from college. He bought a place, and then True Blood came out, and so Sunday nights we would pick up something and then smoke for like 10 Sundays, whatever. We got a little, and we'd smoke on Sunday nights and watch True Blood. And then a couple of years later, then we did the same thing for Game of Thrones. After season 4, all of a sudden I was so into the show. I was like, this is unreal. I think it was Oberyn versus Mountain season 4, maybe Joffrey. I think. And then all of a sudden I found out there are books. I'm like, wait. So I don't have to wait a year. I can like read books. It was Feast of Crows and Dance of Dragons. Yeah, that's when I got into it. So I was really late to game, but it brought me back to like my childhood. Now I've been obsessed ever since.
Yeah, it kind of everything changes when you actually start enjoying reading.
It just comes down to time. From 2005 to 2012, I was busy partying my ass off in Hoboken. I didn't have time to read.
I literally went to work
or working.
See, and so for me, it'd be like the summer of 2002 till Game of Thrones came out. I literally got up, went to work, came home, bought a 12-pack of beer on my way home, went to my boy's house, got drunk.
This is why
I lived with my brother and roommates, and we all bought beer and we got drunk Monday through Sunday. That was our lives. Or we got stoned Monday through Sunday, whatever was going on at the time. But yeah, I mean, I didn't have time to sit and read a fucking book. I had other shit going on.
This is why I don't have a girlfriend. Is all I do is fucking read an audiobook. Like, what did I just do tonight? I unboxed and I was getting off on it. I was like genuinely super excited, like opening books. And
you just got to find you a girl like, there's plenty of them. We know this. There's plenty of the women that read.
But what if she like bends my cover, like wrinkles it?
She just have to buy you a new one and give you a party favor that night.
God, I'm definitely. You know what I want? I want a girlfriend, like a cosplayer girlfriend. I want her. People in the chat. I was dead serious. I was saying this in the chat the other night. Like, It turns out it's the same actress. So I love the girl from Guardians of the Galaxy. She's green.
Yep.
The girl from Gamora. She's like
Yep.
half elf, half whatever the blue thing is in Warcraft.
Avatar.
No,
Yeah,
she's
Warcraft,
she's half orc and half. There's this, I forget the name. This other species. She looks like she's part of the orcs, but she's not. She's only half orc. But that's why she's such like a skinny little orc compared to like the big things. But and then the blue thing looks nothing like her.
Nope.
Apparently, it's the same actress in all three. I'm fucking. So now she's my number one in the world, Zoe Saldana. Because I fucking love her. But that's what I want so badly. I want just a girl who dresses. I added someone on Instagram today because she wears like ears. How hot is it? And she has like, she takes pictures and she's in like a hot pose, and then she has like it's not even a tail. She does like not CGI. It's paint or whatever. Like it's not real. Like she's adding it after the fact. She's adding a tail into the pictures. Like. What is wrong with me? Because that's like super hot to me. Like I want
Chrissy just made a good point for you, Kev.
What's that?
She says you need a girl to break his spine, but not the one on his book.
Dude, so check this out, right? I worked in first I was selling subprime mortgages in 2007, 8. Then I did private equity real estate, and then private equity real estate 2008. Then the financial crisis, there was a lot of shit that happened, but it stemmed from real estate and specifically like the debt funds and shit. So I was in that world. So a lot of people lost their jobs, but in my industry, like everyone lost their jobs. I didn't lose my job, but so I was in this one team. I moved over to a different team right before the crisis and right before everyone got fired. So I move over to this new team, right? Again, it's a bunch of suits, a bunch of people like they check what they like. Picture me. You think I checked what I say? Like I don't check what I say. I can't. It's impossible. So I go to this new team, and then everyone gets fired. So it's kind of like a risky time of like getting fired. I'm there like let's say 2 or 3 weeks. I remember walking over, and then someone said like, "Do you have a girlfriend?" I was like, "You know what I want?" And I was like dead serious at this time. I was like, "I want either there was 2 things." Oh no, I think I said this. It's the standard. No, I said the one thing. At this time, I think it was during True Blood, probably. I go, I want a vampire girlfriend. And I was like, I said this with all seriousness. I go, I want a vampire girlfriend because I want a girlfriend that could protect me. And I said it like dead serious. I was dead serious. Everyone just starts dying laughing. And that was the moment in my life that I realized, holy shit, like you are a weirdo. Because I was so serious. Imagine having like a sexy True Blood vampire girl. Like she's your girl. And you can like make love and like be cute and stuff. But then if like shit hits the fan, it's like she's got my back.
Oh, shit. All I gotta say is TGP's in here taking notes on what you're saying. So you know that he's got you.
Were you in a True Blood at all or no?
No, I had a couple ex-girlfriends that were in a True Blood, and I'd watch it with them, but I'm not a big like vampire zombie. Yeah. I'm not really big into that shit. So it was an alright show. I enjoyed it, but I enjoyed what happened after the show more.
You said you enjoyed what after the show?
I enjoyed what happened after the show. After the show more.
What happened during the show?
I got laid.
Oh, that was a hot show, man. Definitely.
I gotta sit and watch the show with her, and then she took me to the bedroom, and I got to have fun. So what was the bitching in that situation? So
there's this one scene with, I think his name's Jason Bateman or whatever, and this sexy vampire, but she gives him drugs, so they not only make love, but they're like, all of a sudden it's like green screen, and they're just like in this like magical world. Like, I think they're in like water or something, and then they're on like a field, and there's flowers, and they're like flying, making love in the air. Because he's all fucking drugged up. She like, imagine having a vampire that could do that to you. She could just get in your head. You're not in bed anymore. You're floating through the air. Woo, woo. Okay. Fangbanger. Chrissy said Fangbanger. I forgot that. I've been every time I go on HBO and I'm like scrolling left and right. I love like Curb Your Enthusiasm. I always see like True Blood. I'm like, I gotta rewatch this series. I loved it, but it's a big commitment.
I know. I've actually sat one. I was like, I should really sit down from season 1 through season 8 and watch Game of Thrones again, even though I'm not going to be a big fan of the last, 3 seasons. But I need to sit and watch it.
What? I'm not gonna yell. because I love you. But why didn't you love the last 3 seasons? I did.
Okay,
Wait,
so
let me say this. So people get on my case all the time, like you're they say these words as if like HBO is paying me to say good things about the show. I'm like, HBO doesn't fucking pay me. I just happen to love the show, and they get mad at me.
and there's nothing wrong with it. If you love the show, you love the show. It's all personal.
Why do people?
I do enjoy the show. Don't get me wrong. The cinematics of the show were some of the most beautiful cinematics I've ever seen in my life.
And the music.
The music was gorgeous. D&D's destruction of George R.R. Martin's story is what pissed me off. They had so much better shit they could have done with Dorne. They killed it. They had so much better shit they could have done with the Ironborn. They killed it. They killed a lot of good storylines.
Okay.
And I was just like, but why? Like, I understand certain things needed to be changed.
Yeah.
But they just rid it off. Like, whatever. We don't care.
To play devil's advocate, because those are two. There are more than those two that I will even.
There's a lot more. There is a lot more.
Those are two that I can say like.
But
those are two that I can be like, yeah, the books are blatantly better than the show. But pretend the books didn't exist. I would have still liked what happened in the show.
Oh yeah, if I didn't have the background, I probably would have enjoyed the show tremendously more.
But so that's where I'm like, I feel bad for people because I'm like, you're limiting yourself. Like, you're not enjoying something as much as you could because you're. But wait, no, hear me out. Because I'm just I'm wording.
Oh no, you're good. Go.
I'm wording it poorly. Like what I was really trying to do is compliment George. It's like, it's so hard to live up to George R. R. Martin. You know what I mean? But that doesn't. He is George for a reason. But it's like, there's a ton of shows like Umbrella Academy. That's not fucking George R. R. Martin, but I still love it. You know what I mean? I love it.
Yeah. No, it like I said, I enjoyed it, but you took, and the reason I used Dorne and I used the Ironborn, you took two major storylines and just
I feel you. Okay. Who do you mean?
When Euron, when Euron showed up,
okay,
I got excited because he's standing on the bridge. It's swaying.
Yeah,
he's talking shit. Fucking Balon's falling all over himself, dies. And I'm like, all right, cool. And then we have the King's Moot, and I'm like, what the fuck was that?
The dude's just like, not to be like, I don't know what the word would be. He's not an athletic dude. Just the way he walks and stuff, you're like, all right, this guy is, he's a good actor or whatever. He's probably a nice guy. He's not an athlete though. Like the way you move, your body language to me, he's not Euron. Like he's a pansy.
He was more like the way he portrayed the character and the way they wrote the character, it was more Victorian than it was Euron.
I don't know about that, because to me, Victorian's even more athletic than Euron. Like to me, Victorian's got to be someone very like there's just a certain posture and a body movement that athletes have. Bless you.
No,
but
I agree.
The reason I'll let you go in a second, real quick. Bless you.
Sorry, I apologize. My allergies are horrible.
My main gripe with Dorne had some cringy shit, but my main gripe with those two things that you mentioned though is just the lack of Victorian, because I love Victorian's characters.
Well, Victorian is one of my favorite. Euron is probably my favorite bad guy of all fucking time.
Really,
that guy is when George sits there, he's like, I don't write bad characters, I just write gray. There's no white, there's no black, there's just gray. Bull fucking shit. Euron is evil. There is no good in this fucking guy at all.
Yeah, why was he so evil? He doesn't even have a reason. He was the elder brother, right? He's older than Victorian. Yeah. What is his problem?
I don't know, but his chapters, Euron's chapters, or when he's in a chapter, are so fucking intriguing. You just want to know what happens next. Like when they did the King's Moot and they introduced Euron on the show, and then he dropped the Forsaken chapter, and I'm like, yeah, you guys suck, because that was phenomenal.
I'll do two things. I'll not only be superficial, I'll also be incredibly, I don't know if the word's inappropriate or just like creepy, but the reason I love Dorne is because the girl who played Tyene, those are some of like the best boobs I've ever seen in my life. It was, and just there are plenty of great boobs of all different sizes, but just that scene, the way it was between the two bars, it was like very artistic. I like absolutely just loved seeing that. And also just her interaction across the bars with him. I love that scene. Like to me, I love the girl. I love females in general and the female body in an artistic way. that, like, just seeing that on screen, I was like, that was just
it was sexy.
I love humans, man. So that made it for me. And B, God, this is where it gets like pretty creepy. Is that and she, especially, this is beyond creepy because she's probably 17 at the time. But the so the whatever, the blonde haired girl, the daughter, Marcella. She's an attractive young girl. She was too young at the time. But Jamie's my boy. And then the Lannisters have this whole incest thing. I was like, my God, like when they're on the boat, I was like, imagine Jamie and her start banging. So even though it didn't happen,
so we know we know what Kevin watches on Pornhub.
No, what's so bad about me saying that is that, like, the true beauty of the scene is that, as I love Jamie, like, that was such an important moment for him as a father. And in my sick head, I'm like, bang, bang. I don't know. George R. R. Martin made it. Blame George, man. Too soon.
Too soon. But no, like there was just so much more to those two storylines, and there was you had the whole young Griff storyline, and they just even the Tyrell storyline they kind of shit on too. Like once George left in season 4 and he quit helping him write, you could just see the dialogue just went down and the cinematics went up, which I understand. They literally lost their best writer. Like,
yeah. Are we? I thought we were going to get Winds of Winter this year. It's not seeming like that anymore.
Yeah.
I thought that was like, I thought last year he wrote something on his blog that was like
August of 2020 is when it's supposed to come out. This year in August. But I haven't heard anything. So it was kind of funny because Brandon Sanderson is a big George R. R. Martin fan. He likes A Song of Ice and Fire. And he finished Words of Radiance and he goes, there's no way I'm going to get Oathbringer out before Winds of Winter. And then he got Oathbringer out and he's like, yeah, I don't see me getting the next one out, which he hadn't titled it yet, it's the Rhythm of War. He's like, I won't get that one out, not even close. And it's already on pre-order and we haven't got shit when it comes to Winds of Winter. Like I literally thought Winds of Winter would drop literally like 3 to 6 months after the show was done. Like that's what I was expecting.
Wait, but do you think? Was your logic in that he was purposely holding it until the show was done?
Yeah.
There's no logic. Sorry, everyone was saying that, but like George,
it's gone. Like that thought. It's literally like, and I think, and
I wouldn't.
A lot of people
it wouldn't do business that way. Like his books has nothing to do with the show. At this point.
A lot of it is. I think he's not wanting to do what Robert Jordan did. He doesn't want to die before his books are done.
Okay.
So he's trying to wrap up how many different storylines in one book and then finish the rest of it in another book.
I think it's going to be 3. It's got to be 3.
Yeah. I think we might get 8 books. I really do.
Yeah, 8 total. Yeah.
Yeah. But I think that's his biggest issue. He's trying to figure out how to wrap it up. And it's, dude, as an unpublished author, but as an author, writing is easy. Writing is very easy, but I haven't had to try and finish it yet. Because you don't want your ending to suck because that fucks the whole book up.
All right, so I think Linda's like hand up, but here's the thing. Like that was what I said about Marcella and Jamie was half a joke. Like actually no, it was completely a joke. I knew that would not happen, but it's George does so much of that in this medieval times. I'm not gonna lie. Like my favorite character, it's so twisted, but it's hot as hell. So my favorite character, my favorite male character in the past is the Rogue Prince. And the Rogue Prince was such a creep with with Princess Rhaenyra. But because this is fiction, I kind of find it really hot what they did. You know what I mean?
Unfortunately, the way
because she's supposedly like so beautiful. I'm just like this crazy medieval world. And here's the thing: it's like, in our culture and stuff, it's like, incest is totally off limit. That's fucking disgusting. Like if I think about my sister, like I love my sister, but are you kidding me? Like yeah. However, it's like if I try to because George writes all this stuff, I try to take a step back and I'm like, all right, go to medieval times or just not even medieval times. Even like today, it should. In a way, like love is love. Imagine like an uncle, and I mean, she's too young in the story. The Princess Rhaenyra. But imagine like the Targaryens are this like they're almost like a different species. They're like elves, these two beautiful people, and if they're in love, all right, I don't know the medical things of like the dangers of whatever, but it's like love is love. Like, why couldn't they do that? And so because it's not kosher in our culture, it makes it really hot. Because logically, I'm like, humans might be fucked up. Like, what actually is the problem? I don't know. Like, I think there's a problem. I do, but I'm raised just like everyone else. But is there actually a problem? I don't know.
Like, that's that's the one thing is a Game of Thrones, A Song of Ice and Fire, is based off of two different wars, but one warring family. He's bringing a lot of English history, England history. No, I say English because it is, but English history into A Song of Ice and Fire. It's the War of the Roses.
It's weird. Which this should happen in real life. That's crazy.
And that family literally is the Targaryens because they married brother to sister, cousin to cousin, aunt to so they did that.
But back then, were they like looked down upon for doing like the church probably?
Dude, they were the fucking king and queen. There ain't nobody looking down on
them. Everyone looks up to them, but were people because like what caused society to start thinking that's gross? The same thing happened in Rome.
I think because kids started getting really twisted.
So babies, but what if you don't have babies? Yeah. What if you don't have babies? Is it gross then?
Yeah, it's still blood.
It's gross according to us, but think about like, so there's a Roman Empire. This brother, he was the king, and he slept with all three of his sisters. That's like taking Lannisters to a whole new level.
Yeah, no shit.
But here's the difference is that like Jaime and Cersei loved each other, so it's kind of like in a fictional world, it's cute to me. Whereas the Roman Empire guy, he was kind of raping his sisters. That's fucked up.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? That's
yeah. And you look at so you were talking about Euron and how he was so fucked up. Like I can't tell you that how he was so screwed up, but you look at what he did to his brothers. Like he raped his brothers.
Yeah, that's fucked up. I love Victarion, but Victarion, like, what was he doing? He's such a beta.
Because, dude, fucking Euron raped his ass and fucked his wife.
Yeah, he should have killed his older brother.
He should have. Yes,
he killed his wife. He should have killed his older brother.
Well, he's in a way the way it was wrote with Makaro. He's gonna try and do that with the Dragonborn.
Is he trying to kill him, or I think he's just trying to have power? But I guess you're right. That implies that he's like, fuck it, this is gonna be my world, bro.
Exactly.
I got a feel for Victarion. It's weird that he is one of the most alpha guys in the story. And one of the most
a beta to Euron.
He's the most alpha and beta of the entire story. It's crazy.
And the one that's right below him is Theon. Theon on his own, when nobody's around, is very fucking alpha. When somebody's around him that's like his sister or a Stark or his dad, he bows down like a little bitch.
Theon actually he does act alpha and he gets away with it to society and to some men and stuff. But really, the most part, Theon was alpha in the bedroom where he's paying for girls. Like, alpha when she's the alpha. She's playing you, man.
Yeah. All right, I gotta go get one more beer. I'll be right back. I got one more, so
I'm afraid to look at the chat. Sam says the church approved of it. Oh, you don't have wires. The church approved that. It's wild. Yeah. So it's about them being born with illnesses. That's why, like, again, I'm sorry if this creeps you out, but like my favorite guy is Prince Daemon, the Rogue Prince, and they didn't even have sex though. So then it's like, all right, well, you're not gonna have illegal children, but it's wild. Yeah, it's weird. Like I can't even imagine. Like supposedly in America, like we're pretty. I don't know what the word is, like stereotypical or whatever you want to say. Like in the Northeast, we've always like we grew up making fun of like the Southerners for being like incestual, right? But I don't know. It was legit in England and shit. It's crazy.
Well, yeah, it was. And you got to realize a lot of those people that did it in the South came from England.
That's what I don't think you heard it. Sam said, I don't really know history very well. She says the church approved of it. You know what it was? It's probably just because like you've got a family in power and the church is part of that power. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they're like, who are you going to trust most? Like if you go marry another king or like this king marries a prince over there might be some conflicts. When you keep it in the family, it's easier to control. So who knows if the church really approved of it? Or the church just approved of having power. And they're like, these fucking they can fuck themselves. These weirdos.
They were getting this on the side.
Yep.
They were getting paid a lot of money.
Yeah.
Even back in those days, they made a lot of money. Like,
dude. even the Targaryens are so weird, man. Because even and it's so normalized. That's why I'm like talking about it like it's normalized. Even the prequel, like we're gonna get Aegon. He's not even with like his Cersei. He's with two of them. I always forget about that because I think of them as individuals. I always forget they're fucking brothers and sisters. That's so weird.
Exactly.
God, the Targaryens are so creepy.
Yeah, they literally were incestual.
So I don't know. I don't know if I can watch the prequel. I've already clearly lost my mind. I've gone way beyond where I should. The prequel is just gonna make me. I'll be calling up my
fire. Fire. But yeah, Fire and Blood is going to be very interesting. I'm actually curious.
Can you hear me still?
Yes, I can. Every single royal family in Europe is all related, and most popes / archbishops who were also royals further down the line. That actually, yeah, you're probably right. So they were relatives. So yeah, it was their cousin. But down.
You know what the worst part about this is? Obviously everything I've said is pretty disgusting, but not only did I say it, I literally haven't talked to anyone in 3 weeks, maybe. And this is the best I got. You know, when you haven't spoken to someone for 3 weeks, you've got to have a lot of ammo. And this is what I got.
Welcome to the Dragons channel where we don't give a fuck. We talk about anything and everything, even on the book review channel. And this is literally like we're reviewing books, but we're digging deeper into our own history as we're doing it.
So who did you say in Stormlight? It wasn't Kaladin. You're a Zeth's son. So the girl I've been speaking to on Instagram who fell in love with the series, her favorite character is probably I couldn't think of the wording with her either, Tyler. I can't speak English. I'm a numbers guy. The most populous favorite. How do you say? We all have different favorite characters. Of all the fans of the books, people love this guy the most. Who do you think it is?
Probably Kaladin.
I would have thought that before I spoke to anyone because I love him so much.
Yeah,
Dalinar. I think people.
Because Dalinar is very conflicted. I can see that. I can see the bleeding heart for Dalinar because of how he is in his past and all that. I can see that.
Like if I was just to go by, it's anecdotal, but in my comment section of people who they say it's their favorite, most people say Dalinar.
Like I enjoy Dalinar. I do like his chapters, but man, I like Szeth and I like Yesna.
Oh wow. I can give you props for that. Because I love a lot of people don't like Shallan. I have to love Shallan, but
I like Shallan.
But Jasmine is just like an older, better version of Shallan.
Exactly. She's got a little more fire up her ass.
She's our age. That's what it is too. You know, yeah. Like, Jasmine is ultimately. I'd probably fall in love with Shallan. I'd fall in love with Shallan too.
Oh yeah.
But Jasmine is our age. Like she's a real woman. You know, she's
yeah. And with the problem with Shallan, like Yesna has one personality, Shallan's got like 10.
That's why I think Shallan's a younger Jasna because I think Shallan she still has to find herself, and who she is more. Yeah. No, actually, she's not the same as Jasna. That's selling Jasna short. But she I think Shallan she's growing, and I love her, and I think she's going to become a better person. And I don't know any better woman than Jasna. Actually,
all right. I have a question.
What is N? What's the one that begins with an N? Jasna's mother. She's badass too.
I can't remember her name.
But she is another just alpha cat.
Yeah,
she's
exactly. Awesome. So you're a Kaladin fan and you love Shallan. Who is she getting? Is she getting Adolin or is she getting Kaladin?
I don't want to. So let's not talk specifics because people here we don't want to spoil it for them. But it's such a great question because there's a certain scene where they're together in a tumultuous situation, and the kinky side of me really wanted them to get together. I mean, that's my boy, and I love her.
I was waiting for it to happen. I was waiting for it, but then the reason I asked that question is because between
Adolin grew on me to answer your question. I love him. I didn't love him at first. I absolutely love him now. He could be my number 2. I don't know.
Well, and Shallan, between Shallan's personalities, the bouncing between those two it's very intense.
It's who I think like if you're
Vel is Shallan's hardest personality to control.
So what was that movie Twilight, was it? Wasn't there something about like this guy or this guy? Wasn't there? Yeah, because it was the wolf or the vampire type thing, right? And it was like what are their there was like a meme type thing. The vampire. Oh, you never saw Twilight?
I've watched Twilight. I can't. That was another one I used just to get.
Okay, so Twilight has there's the main girl, and she has her boyfriend's also a vampire, but I think she may have hooked up with werewolf, or almost did. And so there's a big meme for like years of like this on the internet would say this name or this name, and Edward or Jacob. Sam said it. So that was a big thing. It was always Edward or Jacob, Edward or Jacob. That's the whole Kaladin or Adolin thing.
Yeah,
it's the exact same scenario.
Yeah, I've been sitting here going, I can see them both, but I think it depends on. It literally depends on the personality.
Edward and Jacob.
Whichever personality takes more control of Shallan, I think is how that's going to work out.
Oh, now I feel like now you're selling her short. Take control of her. She's the alpha in both of those relationships.
Yeah, she is. But like I said, it depends on which personality becomes the alpha inside Shallan.
Yeah. I mean, so here's something, right? I'm going to get kinky again. So I've been out of the game 6 years. The reason being really is that I'm like a hardcore hopeless romantic. And I'm also like, I'm very confident with myself. I'm very carefree. I wouldn't say confident. I'm very carefree. I can be very happy alone and solo, but I would get very, like, the beginnings of relationship would be awesome. I would get very insecure, very jealous, very possessive. I would destroy shit. I was that guy. So eventually I just stopped dating because I didn't want to. I was with great girls and I was just destroying their life for, periods of time. So I quit. Wait. So let me finish. So what I'm getting at though is now, like, I've never really entered the game again, but if I did, I think I'm like, I don't know if people should be monogamous. I don't. I think there should be a lot more love in this world, and I think people shouldn't be as insecure, and I think people should practice safe sex, and a lot of people should be having safe sex. Says the guy who hasn't even kissed someone in 6 years.
I'll actually, Kev, I will second that motion because I do the same shit.
I don't. I do it in my head.
I get very self-destructive.
Oh, you do that? Yeah, the bad side. Yeah, I had to just give up because, like, I was tired of, like, tricking girls into thinking I'm a good guy, and then I was, and then becoming a shitty guy.
I just become very fucking self-destructive. So why? TGP, seriously, you think you're making me uncomfortable? Okay, I just told you I wouldn't say that word again. Hard, no, because it's gonna get you all excited, and I don't want to do that to you. That's just fucked up, man. I don't want to make no guys excited. Especially you're nasty ass dude. You got crabs, herpes, gonorrhea, and syphilis all wrapped up into one. Why would I want to make you all hard and horny? But
wait. So to answer the question, Edward or Jacob? Yes. Kaladin or Adolin? Yes. You get him, Shallan. Have some fun. But no, for real, you only get to live once. Why not both? And why? And
exactly.
If she did, why should either of them get jealous? If they truly loved her, they would be happy for her being happy. You know what I
mean? And that's it. That's
easier said than done.
Well, and the one I'm waiting for, and this is the one I'm waiting for, and this might, Yester might pluck Kaladin away from Shallan in the next book.
You think so?
She was very attracted to that.
I've only done Oathbringer once, dude. I could get behind that.
Read it again.
Yeah, I could get behind that.
Read it again. She's very, very, very into Kaladin.
Well, that's my number one girl, my number one guy in the story. I could totally get behind that.
I've actually been debating. I want to get a sleeve over here with the dragon and all that shit, but I want to put the Wheel of Time into it, and I want to put the Stormbreaker sigil into it as well.
I say this is why I don't make videos shit. Like, I don't even. You're speaking a foreign language. See, what's a Stormbreaker sigil?
Zeth. If you look up.
Oh wait, is Order?
Zeth is a Stormbreaker.
Okay, I didn't. Yeah.
The Order.
Yeah,
so that's Stormbreaker Order.
It's a new order. It's that. Yeah.
So I want to get that, the Wheel of Time, and a couple others, and I literally want to put the books I like on my arm and one sleeve.
Wow. Wait. Wow. When I first started Bridge 4 again, I opened the channel in June. My first video was just the day after Westworld episode 1. It was not trying to be YouTube channels. There's no one like at the time I watched that, whatever that nerd is, he's got a huge channel. I forget his name. I don't know. He's a huge, it's a monster channel that does like Star Wars, Game of Thrones, and I don't know. I haven't seen him in years, but you would heard of it. You would know the channel. I can't think of it. A guy with like short dark hair. I don't know. He like I was expecting him to make a video and he didn't. So I made one. But so I had made the channel just to have a YouTube channel as a viewer like 6 months prior. And so my initial icon, I was Bridge 4 and I had the Windrunner sigil. No, I had the Bridge 4 sigil.
Okay. Yeah.
And then once I started like getting subscribers, I was like, am I allowed to have the Bridge 4 symbol? I panicked. I thought I was going to get kicked off YouTube. So I got rid of it and put a sign of New Jersey.
No, you can keep that sigil.
I could have.
Like, there's nothing.
I know. Now in hindsight, I get the whole thing now. Like you could you could do whatever you want on YouTube. It's our own thing, our own brand or whatever. But I remember panicking, thinking like, I've got like 1,000 views. Like, is my channel going to get like, because I'm using Bridge 4 sigil? So I got rid of the sigil.
No, you could have kept it. Had no problem. So Sam says, was it Emergency Awesome?
Oh, Emergency Awesome. That's the dude. And like,
okay.
So like back in the day,
I know who you're talking about.
So he's huge. And if you're a casual watcher of something, he's great. Like I haven't watched him in years because he's a fucking moron. He doesn't know anything.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I used to do this. I used to like him, and then I went.
Once you start reading the books, you're like, all right, this guy is like, he's basically Googling stuff and then making a video out of like 5 bullet points, but he doesn't understand the depths of the story at all. You know what I mean? And he probably has a team because he's making a lot of money. But I definitely I liked him as a human. He's a big nerd, and he seems like a very
he's a good guy.
He seems like a likable guy. But like that guy. So I was watching him like June of 2016, and then Westworld came out. He was doing Game of Thrones, and then Westworld came out. He didn't make a video. I was like, you motherfucker! Like I want more Westworld. So that's when I made my first video because that fucker didn't do it.
Yeah, I need to jump on with DJ because I'm going to tell you right now, the new season of Westworld it's
phenomenal.
It was good, dude. I'm intrigued. I can't wait to see what happens. I'm not going to tell you anything because you haven't watched it, but I suggest you get on that bandwagon, dude, because it's heating up because you have Dolores. She's in the real world, dude.
That's in my top 5 shows. I just the only reason I don't make videos on it anymore is because season 2, HBO sold the rights. They have a partnership with WBTV.
Yeah.
So everything, I don't know why people make videos. Maybe it's different. But back when I started making videos in the beginning of season 2, everything got demonetized. That was also during like the demonetized time where everything was like, you remember that that everyone was talking about like the yellow flags as opposed to green. So maybe things are better, but I'm just like, I don't know. It takes a long time to make videos. I'm like, it's not even worth it.
All you got to do, tell you the truth. If you want to talk about the show, talk about the show. Don't put any clips in the freaking breakdown.
So
that's the hardest. I mean, granted, that's one of the hardest things to do. But if you want to make money, don't put any clips in your shit.
But here's the problem too, though, is that like season 1, it's like episode 1 came out. I watched it, made a video. Then on Tuesday, or Monday, I watched it again and made another video. I'd watched it 5 times before episode 2 aired. So I could still quote. I can tell you what episode things happened. Like if season 1's in my brain, it's there. It's in the library. Season 2, I watched probably 1 time, just casual. Like episode 1 and 2, I made videos. So I probably watched them like 3 times each. But the rest of the episodes, I just casually watched it as a fan of the show. And it was beautiful that way. But I don't like, so now like to start making episode or season 3 videos, I feel like I'm being irresponsible, not like marathoning season 2 or 3 times to like really be an expert of the show. So I'm like, it's not worth it.
And
like,
that's
just going to try to leave
one thing. On. That's the one thing about Westworld is there's a lot of Easter eggs in every episode. There is a lot. But I will say one thing a lot of people were waiting for
in season 2 or 3
to show up in season 2 when we got Samurai World.
Okay.
Everybody thought another world would show up.
Game of Thrones?
It showed up.
You think it did show up?
Not the actual world, but where they're in there repairing things, like in their repair booths. Yes.
They showed like a medieval or whatever?
They showed Drogon.
No, they didn't. Really?
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Where?
It was. I'm not going to tell you.
It's in season 2, though?
It's in season 3.
Oh, it's in season 3.
Yeah.
See, here's I saw like Teflon. I'm buddies with Tone from Teflon TV.
Mm-hmm.
He had a pop up recently. He did it like within an hour or two of I got a pop up from like my fandom app or something. It said like should game oh no, it said George R. R. Martin wants to do like an episode with Westworld or something like that. And then like 2 hours later, Tone did a video. I didn't watch it. I usually watch every one of Tone's videos strictly because he's my boy. But I would not want to see that because for me, Westworld is its own independent thing. When you start like breaking that third wall, I feel like it might ruin the show. Not
didn't really break the third wall. More of like, haha, we got you a little bit.
The way you describe it's good. I wouldn't want to see like Maeve. Like I've seen trailers for season 3 and like Maeve's. I think it's like Nazi Germany or something like that. Is it? Yeah. So like that's cool. It's like its own little world. Like I'm pumped for Westworld and whatever that world is or Germany world, whatever it's called. But I wouldn't want to see like a setting with like a Jon Snow and an eagle. I don't want to see that. Like I just don't.
You don't get that.
If it happened, I would love it. I would, but I'd rather not see it.
No, you don't get that. They're just talking, and you have to like. It's literally she's walking down the hallway, and you catch it for 2 or 3 seconds, and she keeps walking.
Like something flies.
No, you just catch her walking down the hallway.
No, but
like where they're, how they repair the robots and shit.
I'm talking about Drogon though. How do we see Drogon? He's in season 3.
He's getting repaired.
No, that is pretty cool. Fuck it.
Yeah.
I totally take back I don't really want to see a Game of Thrones world, but that is awesome. That's awesome. Oh man.
I like Westworld because I like shows and I like books that make me think. I want my mind to what's going to happen next. What's going to happen next? What's going to happen next? Westworld is one of those shows, and Game of Thrones was one of those shows that what's going to happen next?
I think Westworld might be the best ever at that.
Oh, dude, Westworld is the king at that shit.
The show, I mean, it also has Ramin Djawadi. It has the same music guy, but just that show compared to like it's in my top 10, maybe my top 5. But like Spartacus is my number 1. But Westworld is special. It is. Westworld is truly a work of art. If you're going to describe anything as a work of art, it's Westworld.
And for people that have never watched Westworld, what's wrong with you?
Yeah, it's it's beautiful with like a capital B that's like a totally different size font. It's just it's a special show.
It's different, and I like the difference of it. And dude, season 1 was the biggest guessing game of all fucking time. Like it really was. Everybody what was going on in season 1.
So Sam's saying the trick is to not only use clips but also know audio from the show. Most big YouTubers do is say the audio themselves and also use stills from the show. Yes, and generally speaking, that's what you do. You can really use if you do 8 seconds and below for a Netflix or HBO, you're generally good. You can usually go up to 12, 13 with video and audio. And still shots, boom, of course, nothing wrong with still shots.
I think it's 15 seconds is your cutoff.
Yeah, I think like it's safe to like you should really aim for like that 13 and below.
The 10, yeah.
But I always aim for 10 and below because 13 and below has always been safe for me, so I do 10 and below. But what she said is like everything she said is true, but not for Westworld. Westworld episode 1 of season 2, Westworld it got fucked up, and I had video. I did like a second video that week, or like for episode 2, I did it entirely of my audio, not a single audio of the show, and not even video, just still shots. But they're what she's saying is to avoid the algorithm. But it was WBTV was manually flagging everything. They're a bunch of fucking bastards. Like even within the last 3 months, I've had videos that I made for Westworld season 1. They're getting flagged manually by WBTV. They're just douchebags. So before season 3 started airing 3 months ago, I was like, yeah, they're already giving me problems for stuff I did 3 years ago. I'm just not gonna deal. I'm not gonna deal with this. You know what I mean?
Hey, TGP, 15 seconds is plenty long for you, buddy.
Linda asked,
dude, you said you were making me uncomfortable. Now I'm going to start talking shit. You don't understand how this works. Anyway, Kev, thanks for joining me. I got to cut off. I got to get to work in the morning. So
definitely, just real quick, I want to say, Linda, yeah, I read the book twice and I'm watching the show. I'm not going to make videos. It's too controversial. I don't want to like piss off half my friends, but the show adaptation of that book, it's really, really good. I mean, just HBO in general makes good quality shows. They're just, but yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
But thank you for real for having me on. You're the first human I've talked to in weeks. And You're one of my Stormlight brothers, so thank you, Goncho.
Yeah, no worries, no worries. Anyway, everybody, thanks for joining us tonight. I will probably be back on Saturday night. I gotta finish. I think we're in the beginning or halfway through episode 4. We got episode 5 at the council to finish on PlayStation 4. And we can finish that video game out, which has actually been a lot of fun. I love the storytelling of that game. It's had a lot of twists, a lot of turns. I'm having a lot of fun. And Kevin, thanks for joining me on this stream. It's been the first time we've actually been live. So it was a lot of fun. Get on that,
dude.
The Shadow of What Was Lost, dude.
I will.
Get on that, and we can sit and talk about it.
Stay on the stream. I'm way past my bedtime, and I'm talking about Jamie and Marcella.
I'm glad you stayed up, bro. I'm glad you stayed up.
I love everyone in the chat. Have a good night, guys.
All right, peace out, people.
Jesus, go fuck yourself.